So this is basically the first screen that you're going to see when you log into Brivity. It's just kind of a set of all your tasks that you have due today that are organized kind of by user, and then you can also see that they could be organized by overdue or upcoming or completed tasks. You can see right here we have a few users within our team's account. So we have our listing coordinators in there doing basically all the paperwork for the listings. We have our VA who does the marketing for us. We also have our pending coordinator and our office manager in there. So I'll show you kind of how our pending coordinator gets around the gets around so she can kind of work around and get the buyers in Brivity, but she's also doing listing closeouts as well. And then finally our office manager is just doing the communication. So these are just the tasks that are due today, of course. What I'll do now is I'll kind of show you how we've set up our action plans within Brivity. Kind of the idea with Brivity is you'll create a listing. From there you'll assign it an action plan and an advertising plan, as well as a property type. And what that'll do is it'll generate a set of tasks that are due pretty much from when the listing becomes, or from when you create the listing. From there you can complete the tasks, assign the tasks to different users, put notes on tasks, or assign other action plans as it goes through the listing process. So this is kind of what an active action plan would look like within Brivity. So you see you would assign it, and then you have, after a certain number of days, these tasks become due. You can assign them, and then this little public thing right here is whether or not your seller has access to it after you've completed the task. So once you complete the tasks that are marked as public, they'll get notified both with the email updates and with an email from our system. And within their login. So you can see here kind of how we've set up our action plans to kind of work with our business and with the systems we've implemented. The active action plan that you have is a little bit different than this one, obviously, just because we've customized it. So you can see right here, this is kind of what a customized action plan would look like after you get your own stuff in there. So what I can do is I'll shoot over those action plans to you so you have access to the ones that we're using within our business and to be successful for us. Then from there we have our advertising plans. Advertising plans are kind of the same idea as action plans, but they're specific for marketing, right? So it's just everywhere that you market your listings. These right here in your settings, it's just a list, right? So it's just a list of all the places that you're advertising. What I'll show you in a minute after I create a listing for you is how you can create these to be essentially live links for your different listings advertisements. After you assign the advertising plan, you can essentially put in the URL for the actual advertiser for the property that you have, so that then it'll be a live link for you and your seller to kind of have access to see exactly where the listing is being marketed. So what I'll do now is I'll just kind of run you through essentially how you would create a listing in Brivity, and then I'll log back into our live account and show you what a live listing would look like as it's being completed. So creating a listing in Brivity is super easy. You just click the plus right there. You put in a nice, cool, long tail keyword, search engine friendly title. So beautiful lake Whatcom property. Hopefully that'll get some search results because these listings are viewable to the public. I'll kind of explain to you the 3 different layers of our listings pages in a minute, but essentially you could get some hits on Google if you put in the right stuff and buyers are searching for it. So then you assign a property type. The only thing about property types that I will mention is the difference between them is kind of the custom details that are attached to them. So for example, residential properties will pull up some custom details like number of floors, neighborhood, that kind of stuff, just kind of details that are specific to that property type. Then you're going to put in the address, the postal code, and you'll assign a listing agent. From there you can add action plans. So you can assign one or many action plans. Generally speaking, at least for our team, we're just assigning one and then completing it and then moving on to the next one, so it doesn't get too complicated, but depending on how you go about doing that, then it's totally up to you. So same with advertising plans, one or many, kind of depending on what your business is doing and how you create your advertising plans essentially. From there it'll create a basic edit details page. So I'm not going to run you through all of the details description because that's pretty self-explanatory. The only thing that I will mention is the assign users, first of all. So you see right here we have the listing and the agent. If you wanted to add any other users, an executive assistant, an admin, or pending coordinator or anything like that, you can just assign them a title and then select the agent, and that'll create their picture will go up with the listing, and then they'll be able to be assigned tasks to the listing. Finally, you would invite a seller. What you're doing when you're inviting a seller is you're essentially sending them a login with a login information, so they can log into Brivity and kind of see everything that you've been doing with their listing, as well as then that'll shoot them email updates about their listing. So what I'll do now is I'll show you kind of the 3 different views within Brivity. So I mentioned before we are a live search portal. You could kind of see before I logged in that there was a search that's visible to the public and buyers, so they do have access to kind of see what's going on, or not see what's going on, but have access to the different listings and take a look at them through there. We do show up on Google search results actually quite high just because of all of the activity we've had in Brivity recently and all of the pictures that are being uploaded. We actually come up pretty high in Google search results. Beyond that, we do have a few different ways to advertise within Brivity. So if you have an account, you can copy and embed code. What that does is that'll generate just basically an advertisement that you can paste into a Craigslist ad or an ActiveRain post or any WordPress or any other blogging site that you're using. You can just post what I just copied, and that'll generate a one-page advertisement for your listing with pictures and everything. We do offer a virtual tour. That's just kind of taking you through all the pictures you uploaded. That's available for you, your buyers, and your sellers. Finally, of course, we have the social share, so you can tweet a post or share it or whatever. We'll just generate a post for you, and you just click tweet or share, and it'll automatically just post to your different sites. So you can see here, this is kind of a live property page. This is what your buyers will actually have access to if they're searching or if they're finding you through one of our different tools. So that you can see that here they have the pictures, the property details, description, all that good stuff. The one thing I will mention is that all of these links are lead captures. So they're kind of ways to get you buyers and leads, and we don't charge you for the leads that you do get, so any way that they are contacting you is kind of yours, and we don't really mess with that at all. So that's just kind of basically what buyers see. What I'll take you through now is kind of both ends at the same time, and hopefully I'll be able to explain in a way that it's not confusing. So all of these tabs are available for you and your seller essentially, except for that details tab, that's only yours, of course. So your seller will have access to all these tabs when they log in. And what they are is just kind of for you, it's a way to keep track of all the activity you're doing and all the activity you still have left to do. For your seller, it's just the activity you have done. So all of these check marks right here, this is what your seller would be able to see. And what these are actually completed advertisements that we've gone in, put the URLs into Brivity so that they have access to the different places that properties advertise. So you can see right here, this is the advertisement for this listing on Trulia that we pasted the URL into Brivity, and then the seller was updated in an email notification as well as in their account. So it's the same idea with the tasks. Tasks are meant to, of course, keep you on track, kind of let you know what you need to do. Looks like we've actually completed all the tasks for this listing, so hopefully we'll get an offer on it soon so we can add the pending action plan to it. Right? So you can see here, this is kind of what your seller would have access to. All of the ones with the little eyeball open next to them, those are the ones that are visible to the seller. On all of these are just hidden from the seller. You can see right here, these are notes that are attached to the tasks, just kind of elaborating on what's been completed, what we did for this. It's kind of more of a team collaboration tool than anything else, but it's just kind of meant to keep everyone on track. Finally, feedback, it's the same idea. So it's just, once you get some buyer feedback, you put it in Brivity, and then your sellers will have access to kind of exactly what buyers are saying about their property, whether or not they liked it. and kind of a good way to communicate that way through within the system. Notes, again, as I mentioned, you can add notes to tasks or just add a separate note within the system. Notes can be, of course, private or public, so it's the same idea, right? So anything that you've been completing is essentially visible or not to your seller. So that's kind of like both ends, right? So the client communication, and then finally the communication within the team and the communication for yourself. So that's kind of just a run through of everything that we do with the system. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and give me a call, or you can shoot me an email or actually chat with me within the program. I have a little chat box right there that, of course, I'm not available right now, but normally I am. So I hope you enjoy the new system, and let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day.